Hi all! Today we're kicking off the beginner's knit along vest cardigan challenge. This is part 1, making a plan and doing the math. Wait. If you're thinking, math, I'm out of here. Just hold on a second. I totally get it. I really do. But if you want to get better at knitting, this part is something you've got to get through. Have you ever downloaded a pattern, free or paid, and started reading it only to think, what is this even saying? Or maybe you just jumped right in without checking your gauge and end up with something way too small, way too big, or just totally off from what you expected. Have you ever thought about designing your own patterns someday? If so, this video is for you. Also, once you see what goes into this process, you might find yourself appreciating pattern designers a whole lot more. We don't just come up with pretty designs. We crunch all the numbers too. Anyway, the first step is making your swatch. A swatch is your little test sample to check your knitting tension. Everyone has a different tension, so even if you're using the same yarn and same needles, our result might still come out differently. And sometimes, even if you're following a pattern, you might want to use a different yarn or needle, and that's totally fine. As long as you know how to do the math, you can totally make it work. So, let's take a look at your plan and my plan for today. Just a quick favor before we start. Everything here is free except for my gauge template. Patterns are in the description box and free to download. I do this so many people can enjoy knitting and learning for free. So, if you find this helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps. All right, let's get started. Okay, let me explain about this chart. This chart shows all the measurements from size small to extra large. First, you have to choose the size you would like to knit. I usually wear size small, but since this is the cardigan vest, I've decided to go with medium this time. The sizes are listed in both inches and centimeters. The numbers go from left to right in this order: small, medium, large, and extra large. Now, let's start by writing down all the numbers. As I mentioned, I'm going to knit the medium size, so I will be using all the second numbers from the left. Some only have one number. That means that measurement is the same for all sizes. Also, just a heads up, I'm not using the numbers at the very bottom, those guys, of the chart, the ones for the bottom body width and front mid width. For example, the mid back width for size medium is 17.75 inches, but the bottom width is 17. That means you'd normally need to decrease after joining the front and back pieces. But I don't want that shaping, so I'm going to ignore those numbers. Okay? Next, let me show you what I've done so far, starting with the back piece. The shoulder has 3 numbers because it's made up of 3 sections right here, the 2 shoulders right here, and the back neck section. That's why 4 plus 7.25 plus 4 right here. 4, 7.25, and another 4. As for the neck shaping right here, don't worry about it for now. I will explain that part later. The mid-back width right here, 17.75. Also, this increasing and arm increase starts, forget about it. Okay, for now. I will talk about it later. And now, top to armhole, right here, top to armhole. It says 7.5 for the medium size. Okay? And now, for the front piece, everything are pretty much same, okay, except this V neck shape. Okay, V neck shape. It says 10.75 inches from top to down the V neck shape. Okay, and as you can see, you have to actually create V neck shape evenly within this 10.75 inches. Okay, and obviously I will talk about it later. And those numbers are from this chart. So now let me explain the order of how I'm going to knit this vest. I will start with the back right here, working top down. I begin at the shoulders right here and knit downward, stopping once I've done the armhole increases right here, starting from here down, and when you hit the armhole curve, done for now. Okay, then I go back to the right shoulder over here to shape the neck, kind of little curve. While doing that, I will use short roll to create a gentle slope for the shoulder, this shoulder slope that fits you better. Okay? Once that's done, I move on to the front piece, this part. Okay? The armhole parts is same as the back, but the important part here is the V neck. As I knit to the V neck height, I will work evenly spaced increases to shape the V. Well, actually half of the V. When the front reaches the same number of rows as the back, which is where the armhole increases end, I join the front and back pieces together, and from there I knit all the way down in one piece. Somewhere along the way, the V-neck shaping will also be completed. Finally, it's time to figure it out how many stitches and rows I need based on these numbers and my gauge. This is the hardest, but also the most important part of this project. So bear with me. I will be using my gauge template, which is right here, to do the calculations. If you don't have my template, you have two options. One, you can buy the template. The link is in my description box. It's only 7 Canadian dollars. Two, if you don't want to buy it, no worries. It's just a ratio math, so you can totally do the calculation on your own. I will include the instructions in my pattern so you can follow along with the example math. So let's go. First of all, this is a quite helpful tool. If you're using inches, you can just use all inches. If you are using centimeter, go ahead. And if you want to convert from the inch to centimeter or from centimeter to inch, you can do that here too. Okay, just like 4 inches, 10 centimeter. Okay, so 10 centimeter, enter 4 inches. Okay, you actually put the number in white section. Do not touch this orange or any color. Okay. Anyway, so I have to actually put the my gauge first right here. So you have to actually put your gauge here. Okay. My gauge was 4 inch by 4 inch, and I have 15 stitches and 23 rows within 4" by 4" square sample knitting. Okay, and I am going to find out all the numbers I need. Okay, first of all, shoulder 4 plus 7.25. So this is, width, right? So I gotta find the width, number 12. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna do the 4" just the shoulder, 15, right? So let's go, oops, right here, 15, right? And 7.25, okay, right here, 7.25, enter, 27. But I picked 28 because I want even number. Every number should be even number because there's the right side and wrong side. I'm not knitting in round. That's why. Okay. So I picked 28. So 15 plus 28 plus 15 is 58 stitches. So the shoulder part, if you want to knit, this part, it has to be 58 stitches with my gauge. Okay. So, or you can do this. Okay. Equal 4 plus 7.25 plus 4. Enter. So the shoulder from here to here is 15.25. Just 4 plus 7.25 plus 4, which is 57. So I pick 58 because it has to be even number. You know what I'm saying? So this means if you want to knit 15.25 this width, you should have at least 57.1875. But there's no such a number in knitting, right? Point something something. So I have to pick either 57 or 58. Then even number is 58. Okay? So that's all. Easy. And now, neck shaping. Okay, this is a little bit kind of awkward. It says add 2 stitches to each shoulder. Okay, so 15 and add 2 stitches. So 17 and 17 and take 2 times 2 stitches from neck. So which is 4. Everybody same number here. So 28 minus 4 is 24. And the stitch count is same. Okay, this is this. I will start from here down, right? Shoulder to down. And when I hit the armhole increasing, I'm gonna come back and do the neck shaping and short row. So neck shaping, I am going to decrease 2 stitches here and this side. Then finishing stitch count has to be 15 because right here, the front piece start with 4", which is 15. So after I decrease 2 stitches, it has to be 15. You know what I'm saying? That's why the cast on number is the same. However, later I have to divide by 3 parts, which is this. Did you get it? So I will talk about it later, but you have to find out this number first, and then you have to do a little trick. Add 2 stitches to each shoulder and take 4 stitches from neck. Again, this number is same as everybody, all size. Okay, so I found the width 1775 inches, which is right here, right? So I'm gonna do that 17.75. Enter. 66. So has to be even number, 66 or 68 or 64. But this is good enough. So I pick 66. Okay. Then increase. What do you mean by increase? Okay. It's easy, right? As you can see, definitely increasing, right? More stitch count. So the widest part minus shoulder part, 66 minus 58, which is 8 stitches, right? You have to increase 8 stitches total, but you have to divide it by 2 because both side. So I have to increase 4 stitches each side. Okay? Super easy, isn't it? And next, right here. What do you mean by 4 times 2 equal 8 rows? Okay, this is the thing. I want you to increase only on right side. And wrong side, you're not increasing. So you need 2 rows to finish increasing. That's why 4 times 2 equal 8 rows. So I'm going to actually finish 8 rows to increase 4 stitches. That's what I meant. Okay? And now top to arm, 7.5 right here, right? And right here means height, not the width. So now I have to use the height here. 7.5. You have to be very careful with this width and height. Okay? And 43. And I pick either 42 or 44. So I pick 44, I believe. There we go. And next, 44 minus 8 is 36. What do you mean by this? Okay, so when to start? Arm increasing. So I have 44 rows here. And I need at least 8 rows to increase, right? So 44 minus 8 is 36. So I will start increasing for armhole will be on 37th row. That's it, okay? And the body, 10.75. Everybody same. I might need a little bit more. I don't know. See what happened. Okay. But 10.75, this is height, right? So right here. 75. 61. So either 60 or 62. So I picked 62 rows. Okay. So the front part, the sizes are pretty same, right? So, shoulder 15, arm 44, blah, blah, blah. They're all same, right? You have to be very careful with the V neck part. First of all, V neck height was 10.75. 10.75 is same as body, so which is 62, right? 62, right? And so another word right here. Come on. This V-neck shape, I have to actually knit 62 rows. And while I'm knitting 62 rows, I have to increase to create the half of the V-neck. Okay, so how many increases? It's going to be pretty much, same as this. The mid part. It's a little bit different numbers, so that's why I have to forget about, this number this time, because it's going to be a little bit more complicated. So I just want to keep simple as possible. So anyway, this next section was 28 stitches, right? 28 stitches. So I am going to increase 14 stitches, half of the V-neck. That's how I start, and I am going to increase 14 stitches each side, then 28. Because, do you know what I'm saying? Because the front part, you have missing this part. This is one piece, the back, but the front piece is 2 part. So you're missing back of the neck. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I am going to increase 14 stitches this side and this side. Okay, which is this back of neck divided by 2. You got it? So now I know how many stitches I have to increase, right? So let's check right here. So 28 divided 2 is 14 stitches, right? So I want to increase evenly. So 62 rows divided by 14 is 4.4. If this number is close to the middle number, okay, I am going to increase like this every 4th and 5th. I have to increase. So I am going to increase 1 stitch on 4th, 9th, 13th, 18th, blah, blah, blah. Okay, do you know what I meant? First, I knit 4, but next 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, and end with 62. Okay, but if this number was, close to 4, like 4.1, you should increase every 4 stitch. If this number close to 5, like 4.9, you should start with 5 and adjust a little bit at the end, something like that. Okay, so that's all. And you have to actually follow those numbers. Now it's easy. You don't have to measure or you don't have to do anything. Just start knitting. So let's move on. All right, that's it for today. I know this might be a bit boring to watch since there wasn't any actual knitting and I didn't even have anything to show you yet because I haven't started. But if you want to knit a vest cardigan with me, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.